Have you ever felt like giving up? Like the world is against you and your dreams are just too far out of reach? What if I told you about a man who faced unimaginable loss, not once, but twice, yet still managed to build a legacy of hope for thousands? This isn't a fairy tale. It's the incredible true story of D.S. Sananayake and the Galoya Project, a testament to the true cost and the ultimate reward of never giving up. Our story begins in the early 20th century in Ceylon, now Sri Lanka. D.S. Sananayake was a man with a vision. He saw a land rich with potential, but also plagued by poverty and hunger, especially in the vast arid regions of the dry zone. His dream was audacious: to restore the ancient irrigation systems that once made the island a flourishing civilization, to make the barren land bloom again, and to give his people a future free from want. He believed that agriculture was the backbone of the nation, and he dedicated his political career to this cause. But his path was anything but easy. The first devastating blow came with the Great Depression in the 1930s. The global economic collapse hit Ceylon hard. The colonial government, controlling the country's finances, slashed budgets. Funds for Sananayake's ambitious land development and irrigation schemes dried up. Imagine pouring your heart and soul into a plan, only to have the resources completely pulled from under you. Many would have abandoned the dream right there, calling it impossible, a victim of circumstance. But not Sananayake. He didn't see a dead end. He saw a detour. He tightened his belt, fought for every penny, and kept the dream alive with smaller, more manageable projects, refusing to let his grand vision fade. He was playing the long game. Then, just as the world began to recover, a second, more terrifying shadow fell across the globe: World War II. Once again, resources were diverted. The focus shifted from feeding the nation to defending it. The colonial administration's priorities were clear, and building new reservoirs was not one of them. It was another crushing setback. For years, the project lay dormant, a dream deferred. The arid lands remained parched, and the people's hopes dwindled. It would have been so easy for Sananayake to surrender to despair, to accept that his life's work was destined to fail. But true perseverance isn't about avoiding failure. It's about what you do after you've been knocked down. When the war finally ended and Ceylon gained its independence in 1948, Sananayake became the nation's first prime minister. Now, the power was in his hands. The dream he had nurtured through decades of disappointment could finally be realized. He didn't waste a single moment. His government's first major undertaking was the Galoya Development Project. This was a project of monumental scale. The plan was to build a massive dam, creating a reservoir larger than the Colombo Harbor, and a network of canals to irrigate over 120,000 acres of barren land. It was a symbol of a new nation's ambition. But the challenges were immense. They lacked the technology, the expertise, and the funding. The cost was staggering for a fledgling nation. Critics called it a folly, a white elephant that would bankrupt the country. They said it couldn't be done. This is the true cost of never giving up, facing down the chorus of doubt. It's pushing forward when everyone, including the logical part of your own brain, is telling you to stop. Sananayake secured international loans, brought in foreign engineers to work alongside local talent, and most importantly, he inspired a nation to believe. He visited the site himself, rallying the workers, his presence a constant reminder of the why behind their grueling labor. They weren't just moving earth and pouring concrete. They were building a future. They battled monsoons, navigated treacherous terrain, and overcame countless logistical nightmares. There were moments when the entire project hung by a thread. But they persevered, and in 1952 the Great Dam stood complete. Water began to flow through the newly dug canals, and something miraculous happened. The dry, cracked earth drank deeply and turned a vibrant green. The project did more than just irrigate land. It created entire new communities. Over 250,000 people were relocated to the newly fertile region, given land, homes, and a chance at a new life. They were former farmers who had lost their land, families trapped in poverty, all now given the tools to build their own prosperity. The Galoya Valley, once a symbol of hardship, became a beacon of hope, a thriving agricultural heartland. It became the granary of the East, D.S. Sananayaka tragically passed away shortly after the dam's completion, but he lived to see his dream become a reality. He saw the water flow. He saw the first green shoots rise from the soil. He saw the hope in the eyes of the people he served. His story isn't just about building a dam. It's about building a nation's self-belief. It teaches us that the cost of never giving up is steep. It demands patience through decades of waiting, resilience in the face of repeated failure, and courage to defy the cynics. But the reward is immeasurable. It's the harvest from a once barren field. It's a community lifted from poverty. It's a legacy of hope that nourishes generations. So, the next time you feel like your challenges are insurmountable, remember the man who made the desert bloom. Remember the true cost and the incredible power of never, ever giving up. Thank you so much for watching. If this story inspired you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories of incredible human spirit. See you in the next one.